welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, I know this can roll, and if you've seen the past videos, you can see that it can roll very well. Now, can it fold? So, I'm going to make it. This bit of aluminium, this is a bit of 6082. This is quite hard, this stuff. So, I'm going to put this up in there. So it's going to bolt under here. That's the idea anyway. So what I need to do is take this off. So I'm going to undo all these bolts. Lift the whole carriage out. Take these off. Unbolt that top bar. And machine all that up. Make some blades. Put them in. And these two bottom rollers are going to be the V-blocks. This is what it's going to act like. And then we'll test it. Let's start machining that. We'll get this off and start fitting it. Right, I've machined that out. Now these are the blades. These are cold rolled steel because they've got nice square flat edges on. So that goes like that. Then I'm going to put bolts in there to clamp it. But then I have to put a V on that, so I'm going to have to machine that, but I'm going to have to make a jig for it. And they all have to be machined down and stuff like that. And I'm also going to put a thread there and a thread in the other one, because if they slightly go off kilter, it'll show up in the metal. So I'm going to bolt them together so they don't move. And I've also cut them, they all need machining. They're going to go on the end because they go under here. So I think the next best thing now is to start stripping it down. We'll get this out, and then we can start taking this bottom roller out and start fitting that, because I've still got to drill holes in there and the 3 holes to bolt it to the main frame. Once we just take this last bolt out. Now this is going to be heavy. I lifted it in last time. I'm sure I can do it again. Maybe I can't. Yep. Just very heavy. Ooh. Oh, that was heavy. Well, it's out. Probably sitting there a little bit precarious, but that is it. So we're going to unbolt these. It will come crashing down. Let's have a look. Yes. Let's get that bolt out. That is still quite heavy. So we'll get rid of that. So the carriages just fall off. So now I've used these quite a bit, and there's no play in these whatsoever, so I'm very pleased about that. So now we've got to get rid of these bolts. Goes in here. put that bit of roller there, so get rid of that. Put that bit of wood. That's a bit of a no. So that goes in there, like that. Then I have to shave them down a bit. But this then goes like that. So that bolts onto there. So it bolts onto there, and then that's all machined, and it's bolted through there. So it holds it on the ends and in the middle. And then when it's on there, you lift the blades in. Because I was going to make the blades bigger, so there was only 2 blades. So a blade there and a blade there, but because they're heavy, they cut your hand off. So I thought if I do it in 3 pieces, it's easy to handle them. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's take this away, start drilling holes in it. Now, it's all machined. Now let's see if it fits. I didn't think it was going to fit in. Right. Does that go in? So that doesn't go in. It does. Oh, right. They work. Now I've got to fit the blades, or make the blades. So we'll have to chop a little bit out of the blade, out of this bit. Right, let's make a jig for these, and then we can do blades. And then we can put it all in there and try it out. Right, these, clean these blades up, and these should now slot in there. I'm just going to put look at that. Now I've shaved all these square on the mill. Just going to make sure there's no dust or anything. All that fit, look at that. Right. Them there. Now they're the blades. What I'm going to do is put these things in. These are shoulder bolts. They will go straight through there. They're 12mm, that's M10. So I was wondering how I was going to drill through there, because I was thinking about 140 centres, and I'm going to have to crop out a little bit for that because it stands proud on the other side, so we're going to have to do a notch in there, but that's okay. So I'm going to clamp this and this at the same time in the mill and just bore the holes straight through it, so I know that they're going to come out right, because these shoulder bolts, there's no giving them. They're literally ground to 12mm. There's a few thou in it, so if I'm slightly out, I'll just ruin it. So the next thing we're going to do, drill holes through there, and I'm going to put a hole straight through there and straight through there. And I'm going to put a washer and a screw and clamp it. So sometimes these tend to go like that. So to prevent that, if I put a washer and literally drill a hole literally between them, that will clamp it together and stop them sort of being out of line. That's my theory anyway. Let's start drilling. Right, so we got all the holes drilled there. Now, I've actually put numbers on here so I know, and I've labelled this because this is all drilled. So we've got 6, 6, look at that, all fits lovely. I'm going to try and get a bolt in. And you're probably just going to have to juggle the bolts a bit. Go that way? No. Let's try that way. There, look at that. So, these bolts, a bit like that, and another one will fit through there, another one will fit through there. It does go through there, and then another one fits through there. So we'll tighten all them up. Just got to chamfer that. So we've got to turn that into a blade, and then put all three together, fit them on the machine, and see if it works. Should work, might not, because they might not be powerful enough to fold it. Might be just too much pressure for them. But we'll see. They're all machined. Nice radius on them. Look at that. Now what I did is I machined that. There was a bit of a flat because I didn't want them going to a direct point. And then all I did is plane that off with a file. This should be a bit lighter because this is aluminium, the other one's steel, so let's get it on there. This bit I don't like. Damn, that thing's moved. So I'm going to need that to go around the other way. So I'm going to do this. Go on and gate. Right. Hey! Done it. Right, so we've done this bit, which I always find is the hardest bit. We'll start putting the bolts in, get this all done up. It's all together, and it all fits, and it still goes up and down. Now to put the blades in. Now this is where it could get a bit tricky. Because this blade, as you see, nice curve on it. So hopefully that will fold lovely. But I have thought something, and it's sort of been playing on my mind. Now this is quite a tight fit. And it's going to be quite difficult to get my hand in there. Right. Will she fit? Might need a little bit. Let's try this side. So you've got to see where the hole is. See, there it is. Some bolt seal. So these are nice shoulder bolts. M10 shoulders. I need 3, 6. So that'll keep us going. the last one. Put this up here. Hopefully this will fit as good as the last ones. Whoops. That didn't help, did it? That's it. I think that's going to be okay. Perfect. Look at that. Squeeze these up. I'm sure these are supposed to be hammered in. I think it says on the box. Get a big mallet and hit them as hard as you can. Right, so all the bolts are in. We've got to put all the nuts on there. Right, now this bit here, the reason why I drilled these holes, if you see there, you can see it's just not quite aligned. So I come up with this idea and see if it works. Put this bolt in here. If you watch carefully, that should, if I'm right, start pulling it together. Look at that. Worked. See? Simple things. Right. Let's get these nuts on. Don't know if I've got lock nuts on there, but we'll wind all these up and we'll get a bit of metal and then we'll try it. We've done it. The rollers and our folders. All we've got to do now is test it. We're going to do this in the next video. Please watch. Please like and subscribe. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Till the next time, thanks very much.